My name is Gemma Carney and I'm one of the organising team on today's event, which is the launch of the Northern Irish branch of the British Society of Gerentology. We're thrilled to be working with the Northern Ireland Arts Council on this, who have an Older People in the Arts programme. So what we've done today is really put out an invitation to anybody who's interested in questioning how we represent age. In practice, I think there is. I think we do feel kind of pressure to dress in certain ways when we reach a certain age, the old mutton dressed as lamb thing. But in fact, there's a whole troop of women now who are older and who are totally disregarding that and engaging in age-inappropriate dress, this red hat society that's really taken off in the States. And I think actually dress can be a great way to subvert ageing and to subvert expectations around ageing. And of course, women are particularly good at that.
Well, there certainly are cultural assumptions about what kind of clothes are suitable for older people to wear, or rather unsuitable for older people, because these are rules that are mostly about what should be avoided rather than what should be worn. And I think there's a certain sort of persistence about those kind of rules. They're about wearing clothes that are a bit more covered up, that are longer skirts, looser cut, less emphatic colours, not making claims to sexual attention. Those persistently have been the kind of ideas of the clothes that are suitable for older people. But of course, one of the really interesting questions to ask is that changing now? And are we seeing a loosening up of those regulations?
Maybe older people need to take a bit more charge of how they articulate and voice their own reality, rather than having that having to obey a kind of view of what it is that they should be, to be, as it were, in every sense of the term, presentable.
I suppose what style says, if you think of style, what instantly comes to mind is a young woman. So it really is kind of part of the youth culture. So what we have to do, particularly in an ageing society, I suppose, is to try and gain back some of that ground and to try and make style something that can be for everyone of all ages.
I think it's very interesting at the moment because we're going through a number of generations are now hitting 60, 65, 70 plus and living a lot longer. So in the past we may have perceived older people to look in a certain way, but actually we've got a lot of people now who are coming through certain different generations, and they've lived through things like the 60s, even the 70s now. So we've got young people who've gone through the introduction of rock and pop music, and in the next 10 years or so we're going to have the first punks turning 65. So this means that we've got a diversity in the way that people will look even into their 60s, 70s and 80s, and maybe very different in the way that they did in the past.
I think how we use clothes to represent age is a difficult one. I mean, I think it's clear that in some ways we enact and perform age through the kind of clothes that we choose, the way that we wear them. But I don't know that I think that's the whole source of the patterns of clothing. Because one of the interesting things about clothes and age are the ways in which clothing interacts with the changes of the body. So it's about both changes in the body aging, but also cultural assumption aging.